welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm excited to bring you along for an idea to save you some time and save you a lot of money. I can all my soups if I possibly can. I try to keep my pantry stocked, but this time of year we've run down to the bottom of the barrel, and so yesterday for dinner I made a big 12-quart pot full of split pea and ham. And we loved that on the shelf. We don't want to eat it for a week, so we had it last night for dinner. My husband takes it for his lunch a couple mornings, and I can up the rest. So I'm going to can this. Canning your leftovers makes sense to me. You save time and money, and if you plan it, because this 12-quart pot literally cost me $12 for everything that's in here. My hot jars, my hot soup, and we're going to go ahead and load the jars. Give your soup a stir. I shared some of this soup with my neighbor, so I don't know how much we'll get out of this. If I don't get 7 full quarts to load my canner, I've got my all-American canner back there on the stove heating up, and I've got vinegar in the water. I also checked the rim of the canner and did some Vaseline on there to keep the seal from locking up on you. And because this is pretty liquidy, you don't have to de-bubble, but you might as well, right? Just give it a stir and that gets rid of all the bubbles. And what happens on bubbles, if you did have a bubble trapped below the surface during the canning process, it pops up and it makes your headspace skewed. So that's why you want to debubble things. Grab another jar. And I've got 1 inch of headspace, which is perfect. So that's to that bottom rim. Actually, I could use a little bit more. And then we've got a clean napkin. Dip it in some white vinegar. Wipe the rim of your jar. Now, this first lid is going to be a Tattler lid. And I probably could have used all Tattlers, but I didn't, just because I'm trying to get rid of old lids that have been sitting. I mean, they're brand new, but they've been sitting around for a couple of years. So you want to get them used up. Okay, give it fingertip tight. On Tattlers, your fingertip tight and back off just a little bit. This one has to come out of the canner first and re-tightened as soon as it comes out. So, but if you ever hear one of your Tattler lids spewing or anything looks different than it should, don't touch it. It's not worth getting hurt. All right, split pea, look at that, it's beautiful. Well guys, I am back early. That gave me 6 quarts of soup for the canner. And had I not shared with the neighbor and all that, I could have most certainly had a full canner load. But I'm kind of glad that it happened that way, because I had planned that if it did happen that way, that I was going to do a little bit of an experiment, and that's what you see in the title. So here I've got a 1.5-pint size jar, so we're just going to do a little experiment. Day before yesterday, I made this beautiful pot of baked beans, and they literally were on the stove forever and ever, way longer than they should have been. I pre-soak, and what I like to do with my beans, so everybody doesn't get gassy, because nobody likes that, I bring them up to a boil for 15 minutes, rinse, clean, repeat with clean water 3 times before I start the cooking process. And even that first, I tasted one of the beans, and they were starting to cook. They were way al dente, but these never softened all the way. So I want to see if they'll do it in the pressure canner, because this pot of beans was so delicious. Other than that, the beans were a little too al dente. So I've added some water to it, so the viscosity doesn't have a density issue for the canning process. And then when I open them, I can always cook them down or eat them just like this with cornbread. So I'm going to bring you back and let you know if this works or not. These have meat in them as well. So if you'd like my baked bean recipe, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, because it's delicious. If the beans cook right, it's even fantastic. Okay, again, it's just 1 inch of headspace. You can debubble if you want. It's pretty liquidy. I don't think there's any bubbles hanging out in there waiting for me. And then get rid of my funnel. And if this works, because I'm going to test it out right away, and I'll bring you along for another video. If this works and those beans soften up, we are going to can the rest of it. So now we'll have a full canner load. So it's still going to be for 90 minutes because of the meat and the beans. And here we go. All right. I'll be back as soon as I'm pulling them out. And you want to remember to take your Tattler lids out first. Make sure it's not spewing like I said before. And go ahead and tighten that down. All the way. There we go. That's done. And it will suck down. You won't hear a pop with the Tattler lid, but it'll suck down, and everything is boiling right in the jar. It's beautiful. Let's take, this is our beans. So this will be my experiment. But look how beautiful those baked beans are. And so my experiment is going to be to find out whether that actually will soften them or those beans will never soften. And so I hope it inspires you to try to make some extra now and then. Save yourself some money, because if you bought a quart of soup that was this good, how much do you think that would cost in the store? A couple of these would probably cost $12. So for $12, I helped the neighbor. I made soup ahead for lunches, and it's just perfect. So there you go. I can't wait to see you next time. Be sure and check all the links below. And if you like this video, I hope you give me a thumbs up and let me know how you make your split pea soup, or if there's a soup you'd like to see me can. All right, guys.